Hello, everybody. Welcome along to our Hindsight podcast studios. I am UB, and so Ndonovid, alongside three Pete's championship pundits, Mr. Inyobong Monday, Mr. Olakunle Rufai, and IBK Sports. A great show of courtesy to Ini, despite Arsenal's non-championship yet excellent football season, means that football's banter would leave to fight for another 12 months at least. Gentlemen, it's good to see everybody on the podcast for what is the preview episode before the Champions League final. And it's great to welcome all of you here because this is pretty much our last episode before the season finishes. And we have got to be very effusive towards all the love we've seen on social media, especially on our YouTube page, which has been incredible. Thanks for all the support we've seen. Thanks for all the messages you drop on our Instagram, TikTok, of course. We've since progressed the podcast from Google Podcasts to YouTube. Music pretty much is what they said to us. So if you're on Google Podcasts looking for the podcast, you might not find it there. So get on our social media and be a part of all the subscriptions and follows at the Hindsight podcast. Gentlemen, welcome along to the pod. Good to see you.
Yeah, well, great, absolutely great. And I had a moment to forget last weekend.
Right.
A moment to forget last weekend.
Happens to the best of us.
And the fans were not having it. They were not having it.
But that's why in the intro I have to commiserate with you. A great show of courturity.
Yeah.
I became in the group chat, in the WhatsApp group chat was cracking me up so much. Saying things like, "Move on, please." He said, hope you come back from this. Where did I go to?
But I always think that banter is great. I just always say, keep it a bit respectful. That's
exactly.
That's what I ask for.
Exactly.
I think banter is amazing.
No, it is. I think we do. I may be exaggerating, but I think we do the best banter in this country.
I don't know that there is a single show, right? and speaking of shows, there are many great ones, but when you think about the ease at which we connect with the people who watch our podcast, it's simply amazing. But I was just going through some of the things to speak about today, and I saw this incredibly funny thing. And somebody said, I did Nigeria. They asked me, hope everything good.
Which kind of play with that question?
Stupid question to ask.
It's a stupid question. I say, hope everything did okay.
Nigeria. How? If I tell you everything did okay, you don't go call police.
Everything is not okay. I'm in Nigeria.
If I tell you everything did okay, you go call police.
Someone said, saying I'm sorry really sweetens the heart, right? And someone replied and says, not when you hear from a doctor. say, I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about
I'm sorry for yourself.
sorry about what it is. It's incredible, man. But I'm actually looking forward to today's episode of the pod because there's something about reaching the end of the season and finding out who wins Europe's ultimate prize.
Yeah.
And we tried to.
Could have been us, Hi. That night in Munich.
We are down on the final.
Move on, Abi. Move on, Abi.
Saka got the freeze.
Yeah, he
got the
did.
freeze.
He did.
He froze a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think that's part of the learning experience for young players.
True.
You realize that moment where you just froze a little bit could change.
The funny thing is that, I totally agree because I still believe that if we beat Bayern in the first leg, no matter how slender the scoreline was, would have knocked them out.
What about Madrid?
Would have knocked Madrid out. Don't worry. Would have knocked Madrid out. Who? Don't worry, we'll knock Madrid out.
I have to say,
we'll knock Madrid out.
I have to say, off the back of your FA Cup gaff, there should be a little bit of drop in the confidence with which you are saying.
No, would have knocked Madrid out.
Seeing how Madrid has gone,
I feel like the way we would play against them, because they're the better side. They're the better side. They're the more experienced side. The way we play against them, they will not understand it. Because
how would you play against them?
Block them. That space Vinicius is joining around. He will not see.
Ancelotti, we don't lose final. We delete 3-0.
Let me tell you, have you seen the recent Ancelotti interviews where he's talking about some of the things that happened?
Don Carlo.
Because if you've seen that, you'd understand where he mentioned, and it's incredible personally for me that. Obviously, I didn't need to listen to Ancelotti say those things to understand.
I needed to make sure that Einstein's,
understand
exactly.
That so it was
when I sit on the pod and speak about
exactly.
How
it was
a
win moment in terms of this is exactly what I've always talked about. I don't like managers who this is my way and it's only my way.
Yeah.
I don't like managers who are not flexible. I
don't too.
I detest them. Right, so when
I used to think Arteta was like that, but he's learning.
When Ancelotti says, look, you have to be, and he gave an example of the reason why Baggio couldn't play for him at Parma. Because Baggio was a number 10, but at the time he had only one style, that was the 4-4-2 that he learned from Sachi, and that's how he wanted to play. And so he couldn't play Baggio. And then he went to Juventus, and then Zinedine Zidane came, and he was thinking, Zidane is one of the greatest players. How am I have to change the system because I have this great player, right? So when someone like Ancelotti says that, he more or less just justifies, like, so Ancelotti is telling you that the way we played against Bayern Munich, was it Bayern Munich he mentioned? He said he told his players that they want you to press, don't press them.
So I want to define it.
Wow.
I want to define something quickly.
I need to see that.
Right.
Wow.
I need
to see that.
So
Complete nick up.
So I'm gonna just quickly, define something a little bit, right? So football players are the protagonists of the game. They're the talented ones. The football players are the only ones as important as football players are the fans, right? In that order, you have the next most important person in the team is the manager of the team, right? Now, when you have a couple of players, the job of a coach, by definition, is to harness the talents of all those players, right?
Yeah.
When a coach has a predetermined idea of how they play, what he's automatically doing is he's going to be at loggerhead with a couple of talents in the team.
Yeah,
right.
true.
Because he has presupposedly,
Irrespective of who they are.
So you come into the team and you see Ronaldinho,
but the managers who do it in the right way.
The managers do it in the right way, right? When you have a style of play, right, that's not a problem. But when you are
style of play, and approach to play, is it the same thing?
So I think style of play, right, for me, should take the back seat to principles of play.
Okay.
Right? This is the principle of our game, right? And the principle is more important than the style. Because we can live to fight another day, right? Doesn't mean we're cowards.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
But the principle is that we need to survive, to
Result
fight another day,
oriented,
right?
yeah.
So if your game is possession based, right, you explain the possession principles to the players and why it is important to keep possession in certain times of the game. So the game is for 2 minutes, to have time. We need to keep possession in 3 minutes to make sure that we're tired legs here. We can't afford a counter, that kind of thing. That's important. So players understand the principle to the possession.
Yeah.
But when your style is we must keep possession regardless of what is happening.
Regardless of what's happening.
You get. And the
That's
players,
a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Because Vinicius is gonna see a 1v1 he knows all day. I'm gonna kill that guy. There's like I can destroy this guy 1v1 and go. You get. And you have told him already, Louis van Gaal told Ander Herrera, you have to take 2 shots on the ball before you pass. I think Herrera made the point. And Herrera could not understand it. Because I see the pass, I see the true pass is there. I need to make it now. You get. So Ancelotti is saying, look, it is not possible for me to tell Vinicius how to attack a player.
Yeah.
I couldn't possibly do that.
Yeah.
So my job is to, coach defensively and say, you know what? When we're being attacked, you don't know anything about that. I know a lot about that, right? So you defer to me, I listen to me. So in the end, that's why I think that when I look at manager, and that's what Pep.
Sound.
I think we can all get
I think Ancelotti is more of,
Really
apart
sound.
from his approach to the game, tactical aspect and the rest, I think he's more of a great psychologist. He reads the mind of the player easily. Now, let me give you an example. I remember when I think someone was studying the fact that, Modric is in the team, not getting enough playing time and the rest.
Right.
And there were different videos where Modric would sit, but he won't tell him to warm. And I think they asked him that kind of question that, okay, what does he think about Modric? Should he retire or something? And he said, Modric is a top player, and he needs to respect the fact that this guy is a top player and always wants to play. So what he does is, he tells him to warm when he's sure that
He's going to play him, yeah.
So that's when Ten Hag was
that's a show.
disrespecting Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's when that.
That's a show of respect.
And Mourinho said, I don't care if Ronaldo is 48. You get or 94. He must play.
Like
there's a
Ancelotti is a great guy.
That's what
Except you have somebody
better than him.
He's a great guy.
And guess
He's a
what?
great guy.
If you have somebody better than him,
He's
it
a
is
great
now
guy.
a footballing decision. Except he's a stupid person. He will know that what I need to do is to go and get better than this person. And there's nobody that understands that better than Ronaldo. That's why,
at the time, fans were very emotional. And I'll keep on saying it. A player in a position, because you have to play the best players that you have at your disposal, irrespective of what is going on in the team. You have to play the best players. Ronaldo is your best player. By he's 37, 38, but output better than everybody else on the pitch.
On the team.
So
He
you
was
have
18
to,
Premier League goals.
18 Premier League goals, my brother.
37.
As a it was 36.
37.
37 actually.
37. 18
37.
Premier League goals, my guy.
So if you are going to disrespect him, if you are going to tell him to warm up and play 2 minutes, and fans don't understand that is disrespect.
There has to be, if you are going to do that, and that was why I was saying that, if you are going to do that, there has to be a sort of conversation to, this is how this thing will go. And that's what Ancelotti does very well. Ancelotti gives. I understand you see, I gave an example of the show way back then. Ancelotti gives, he gives to the players. So that you don't have any excuse to not give me what I want. So he gives to them, oh, I know you're a senior player, I'll give you the respect. I would allow this, the last game Toni Kroos played this last weekend.
Wow.
It was actually reported.
Very emotional.
It was actually reported that Ceballos was already warming up, was going to sub Toni Kroos.
Right.
And then there was a foul. And the moment that foul happened, Real Madrid got a foul. The moment that foul happened, the sub was going to happen. Toni Kroos made and he asked Ancelotti to please allow him stay on the field for that free kick. Make him play up. And he almost scored. So it was after the free kick that the sub happened. So the point is Ancelotti is there's that show of respect to the senior players.
I think there was a game where I think it was United played. I think was it Everton, and I think it was a Premier League game, something like that. Rooney get free kick. So Rooney was just coming back to Old Trafford, right? Rooney get free kick. We in kick out. I saw Romero, that Argentine goalkeeper. I love him. He save and tip like that. I say, why allow this boy? Can't you read the room?
Allow it. You don't say how poetic.
The moment, allow it.
You go just free and say, bro.
You can never work in production because you don't understand the script.
Bro, it was the example I was making with that Ancelotti team was this guy. He said we played a Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League. Very good team. They're very, very good on the ball. Their coach was De Zerbi.
Yeah.
He said, I told my players, look at those guys. They want you to press them.
Fullback are coming inside.
Sit back. We won 5-0. They had possession. We won 5-0. We moved.
It's something Mourinho said against
exactly Mourinho says all the time.
With United and
the Ajax. You give them a game they don't want.
Yeah, I watched that game last week.
You risk that they're better than you. You have to play football.
That game.
It's not acceptable, but you risk it.
That man,
and in finals, we don't take risk.
That man, Ajax game. I watched it before.
I don't come find a conscience.
They showed it on Tuesday before the Europa League final last week. Bro, if you watch that game again, you know why Mourinho is called a genius? Bro, you see that Ajax team? Those boys.
That was a year before they got to the semi-final of the Champions League.
Yeah. But if you go and press those
they
boys,
will beat you 6.
They will beat you 16 in that final.
Of thought, saying our 2 18s because in the end, Pep is different, has a different approach to it. When I mean in terms of psychology. Now, Pep's own is he wants to be that strict guy.
Pep is flexible too.
And he will die by it.
Pep is not a coach that's not flexible.
Very flexible.
He's very flexible.
He is, but what I'm saying is Ancelotti is more like the father figure, I want to try and understand this guy. I want to try and, know what is wrong, know how you are feeling. Pep will probably not do that.
Yeah, I get
no,
that.
I don't agree. I don't think
Pep
so.
will probably not do that.
I don't think so.
He said probably. He said probably.
You know why I don't think so?
Because
Because
documentary.
He said probably.
He takes De Bruyne off at Anfield. Liverpool were absolutely bossing the game. De Bruyne was non-existent.
Yeah.
Pep could see clearly he's a top guy. And that's why I respect managers who understand in-game problem solving. You can solve problems in-game.
Yeah.
Pep is not the guy who will look at De Bruyne and think, he's not in the game, leave him there. He could see clearly Liverpool had found a way
to cage him,
to stifle him. And if you leave him there, he's going to be redundant. There's no point. He took him off and brought in Kovacic. The game was different. When De Bruyne was coming off, obviously De Bruyne is very angry because players like De Bruyne, they are built to play those sort of games.
Yeah.
They always believe that they've got something
No, they believe
in their locker.
They take responsibility as much as the manager does.
You know, they want to make things happen in those sort of games.
Irrespective of manager, they just won't win.
They just won't win.
So,
And they
so
will
he's very upset. He walks up, he's screaming, shouting, he goes on, sits on the bench. Pep
Goes to him.
leaves the game and
I
goes
go and
to
explain
him.
stuff
and
to him.
understand.
That's
explains to him.
respect.
I understand
That is
your
respect.
emotions.
That's respect. He's showing him
game.
respect
In
because
the
that's
game.
the brainer.
You know that you don't. It doesn't.
So
do
if that Doku
guess
do
what?
am,
Doku they mad. Why Doku? Why go even try him?
He will not play for 2 weeks.
Who be Doku?
He will not
I
play for 2 weeks.
I think.
I'm very sure he won't play for 2 weeks.
You see, for me, right, the biggest credit I give Pep, and I've said this thing over the years, the biggest credit I give Pep is creating equanimity.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
across the entire team. That this is the level we can never go below.
Yeah.
Right. From then on, if you can satisfy this weight class, you know, quote unquote,
Yeah.
we are good.
We're good. We're
Yeah.
good.
If you run this hard, when you lose the ball, you run
And
this
that's
hard,
why-
you chase this
and you
hard.
see-
We're good. Any other thing from there we can
And you see,
negotiate.
that's why if a club is serious, they pick a coach. Oh, this coach is very good. Oh, you pick Pep, you pick Jose, you pick Ancelotti, you pick. What is the next thing? The profile of players you sign, because this thing that he said about creating that equal stance. Yeah, we know you're a senior player. We respect you, but as far as this team is concerned, everybody is equal. Everybody works the same. Everybody does the same for the team to win. It is easy to achieve depending on the profile, the temperament, or the kind of players you bring in. In the same interview, Ancelotti said it. He said, in this team, there are no egos. The senior players are the senior players. Everybody respects them. But they do the same work or even more.
Rodrigo said it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the
Rodrigo
players,
said it.
so
Rodrigo said it.
in terms of working for the team,
That's
there is
the-
no I
that's
am
the-
Luka
that's the
Modric, so
level.
you
Yeah.
go and mark and
but
bring
now,
the
as
ball.
a coach,
There's
you
nothing like that.
Now, as a coach, what do you do if you have your best players not doing what you want them to do?
They are not your best players
you have
then.
to- you have- you
Get them
They are
out.
not your
you have
best
to- you have
players
to go.
then.
Get them out.
Ferguson
of the team.
said. Ferguson
In
said.
terms of work rates,
They are not your best players.
It's
Get
great
them-
we're
get
having
them
this
out.
conversation, right?
You best player.
Ferguson
now
said-
why Ozil come out?
Ferguson
Madrid,
said. Ferguson
actually?
said.
That was
said-
the reason.
In any football team, right, working hard should be the minimum.
Barest minimum.
It should
Barest
be the
minimum.
foundation of the team.
Yeah.
Because you can't go anywhere without working
And I
hard.
explain to you. It says if my United team, right, play, let's say another team, let's say Burnley or whatever it is, or Leeds, something like that, and we have more talent than them, right? But they work harder than us, right? They've brought something, we brought something. Talent, they brought hard work.
Yeah.
It clashes. So we're almost at par. But if they bring hard work, we bring hard work too. We lock it in equal.
Yeah.
You
So
get?
talent.
Then we now have talent.
More
Extra.
than
The
them.
talents will now show, okay, we've worked as hard as you, but now we have something you don't have.
Yeah.
You
It's
get?
talent.
That's what's going to decide the game.
It's even
But when we come to the game and you work harder than us, the talent cannot
the reason the
cannot
talent
suffice. But the theme going to the final, right, is I get the sense that people want the underdog to win. I know we've seen that with the FA Cup final, we've seen that with the Europa League final. Is there any chance that Dortmund, can win?
Yeah,
because
there's a chance.
now we cannot say again that no chance.
Yeah, there's a chance.
In his say, even if man you play well.
they don't humble senior man.
You know, don't
Yeah,
run.
but-
If those say, before that game,
Yeah, I wanna
as you ask that
ask you-
question, senior man will say,
Shey Real Madrid they lose final or not? They played 14. I think they played how many finals? They've lost only like maybe 2 or something like that.
now if you want drop banger, I ain't go do that. He go sit down.
They played 18 matches, 18 finals.
Yeah. They won
18,
14.
I think. Crazy.
Yeah.
How do you back a team against this team? The only team you can back against Real Madrid in a final is possibly Barcelona. Because they know them very well. If you see them in the final,
Yeah.
You did not hit.
you know,
Don't be
you
this
just-
Barcelona, they go beat.
maybe Barcelona just always have one on Real Madrid. I don't know
No be
why.
this one.
You
This
know?
one which Javi come out to. No be am.
Maybe this one where Hansi Flick was.
No be this one where I see.
Why the?
Because
So
they
now
don't
that-
hit.
I fancy Real Madrid. I do.
No.
I fancy Real Madrid. And I was so tempted to go Dortmund. Because I feel like it's going to be...
Go on now.
I feel like it's going to be a more difficult final than people think it will be. People are thinking, there will be lots of goals. Don't put your money. Dortmund are going to shut that game down. They've done it building up into the final, and that's how they're going to play. And funnily, if you see Edin Terzic and how he plays, he's a very, expansive manager who likes to play attacking football. He likes to,
That's why
play
he lost.
fancy.
That's why he lost the league.
Guess what? Rufai was talking about managers who adapt. What Edin Terzic does in the league and what he's done in the Champions League this season is like this.
Yeah.
What he's done in the league, because in the league he wants to play his identity. In the Champions League is where he shows his pragmatism. Because in the league he feels, we're the second best team in the league. After Bayern Munich. And so we cannot be playing with that mindset of, stifling games and all of that. But in the Champions League, he's knocked out Atletico Madrid. Staggering.
I didn't see that one coming.
It's knocked out Atletico Madrid. And what
that knockout puts Simeone on fraud watch.
What he's done. So I feel like they're going to play like that in the final. I really do. And this is a game that sincerely can go anyway, but because of the mentality in the Real Madrid dressing room, I don't see them.
I don't know if you saw this clearance. I was watching, so of course, I'm sure everybody follows Champions League page on Instagram. And he posted, I didn't even see this. He posted a highlight clip where Mbappe threw
Sule,
one-on-one.
Niklas Sule.
Was that Sule or Hummels?
It was Sule.
Oh my! Honestly,
that
since the days of
point
John
blank,
Terry, clearing balls off the line,
Is
I have
Niklas
not
Sule.
seen anything like that. The guy cleared the ball with his left leg. Mbappe was like,
Mbappe don't want this.
Mbappe was like,
already.
wait, what just happened? But the question is it possible to play like that in the final? To play, and I think the more important question actually is how would Real Madrid themselves approach the game?
Yeah.
Because what we've seen Real Madrid do is, they approach the game, they size the kind of game you want and give it to you. So against Man City, they realize, we're going to defend for...
Exactly.
We're going to defend
I've
for
never seen Real Madrid play like that. Never.
Exactly.
Since the days of Jose Mourinho.
I've never. Yeah. But I don't.
Even then, I don't. Except only against Barcelona.
I've never seen Real Madrid that deep.
Against Barcelona.
What made this difference was Jose played like that with some defensive-minded players on the pitch, right? Ancelotti played like that
With attacking players.
attacking boys.
Yeah.
I see Bellingham, they sit down inside midfield like, say, man, we know they go anywhere. You get.
So I think as a Dortmund coach, I think what you should be scared of is the fact that Madrid respects everyone, and that alone is the strength of Real Madrid. You are going into a game and you don't know what to expect from Real Madrid. That's to show you how much respect they give to every opposition, and that's thanks to Ancelotti. Are they going to attack? Are they going to sit back? Are they going to just take it low? I think it's a final. I think they know that the strength of this Dortmund side is they have, pacey transition. They have quite young players who are also, they've got the energy. They can do 90 minutes. They can do 120. Just like what Vinicius would give you. You also have players like Adeyemi who would run you ragged all through the game. So I think it will be a tight game, like you said. But Real Madrid, like you said, there is this more of you are bringing this terms of is this strength? Dortmund will bring their strength, Madrid will bring their strength, but talent I think would be the one that would pave way for Real Madrid in that final. Maybe Vinicius. Maybe
I just
Bellingham,
feel there's a mentality
yeah.
in that dressing room. It's a mentality.
In which one? Dortmund's?
They know that the Real Madrid dressing room. Like there's a mentality. Because I felt like Liverpool should have beaten them in that last Champions League final. They won they won 1-0. I was in 2021. Yeah. But somehow they just find a way. They find a way to get results. And it's a mentality thing. And you get into a final like that, and these players are thinking about winning. We're thinking about winning. And they don't necessarily need to play well. Like that Liverpool final, they were not expansive. They didn't play anything that you thought, they were fantastic. They just ensure that when the moment comes, we will be right there to pick it at the right moment. They have players who can stand up. It's Toni Kroos' final game for Real Madrid. You think that's going to be an emotional game for him, but don't worry. He's going to be the calmest player on the pitch. He's the guy who they will give the ball to, and he will make things happen. So I just fancy that Real Madrid have a slight edge in mentality. But in terms of the football, I think Dortmund can go toe-to-toe with them.
I don't think Dortmund can go toe-to-toe with them.
I think they can.
I think the only chance Dortmund have got is to stifle the game. It's to make it so difficult. I don't see any chance for you to go and play Madrid in a final. Majority of your players are playing the biggest games of their lives. I don't see a chance where you go there and attempt to go toe-to-toe with Madrid. One of the reasons is that they've got a team that, maybe young players, but that can play at the highest level, that has played at the highest level, that can hold their nerves at the most difficult moments. Case in point, the Man City game, the second leg, right? They scored first. And then City found a way to equalize even late in the game. On that normal circumstance, and I think that's what people always forget. When a team plays a defensive masterclass, people go, oh, they just block everywhere and City no fit score. People underappreciate the amount of concentration, the level of concentration that is needed to pull off a defensive masterclass.
I don't want to give Amrabat in props.
You understand? So when that's a team.
He didn't get a yellow card, by the way.
He didn't get a yellow card.
Brilliant.
That's a team of absolute superstars. Maybe not absolute superstars, but really talented players who can also pull off that kind of game against Man City.
What are you saying?
No, I mean, when you compare them to the ones Madrid used to have now, maybe that was why I took that back. But those are really talented players that were able to pull that off against Man City, right? Against Bayern Munich. When you now play them against Dortmund, in my opinion, I think Dortmund would need a handshake from the, if there's anything like a god of football to win the game again. Because player for player, talent-wise, they don't beat Madrid.
But finals are different. I always feel like finals is about mentality.
Yeah, it is.
Finals is not about ability.
It is not about...
You can be so good, and you get into a final and you get blown away. And that's what happened with Leverkusen last week against Atalanta.
Was that not what happened with...
After 10 minutes, I was watching the game and I thought, Leverkusen are not going to win.
Let me tell you. Senior man.
Because the mentality with the Atalanta players, I could see that they were not going to have a good game. We're not here to have a good game. We're here to win. I see Leverkusen trying to pass, trying to look nice, playing.
Let me tell you, senior man,
playing nice football. You are not going to win a final. So it's mentality.
As much as I agree with you, it's more mentality.
Sorry, somebody said, say, why Rodri no carry that mentality with my...
Let me tell you.
Maybe say
no,
let me tell you,
shots.
You are enjoying this thing too much.
But he's saying the truth. Why that mentality that he said that man don't have. Why did he carry that mentality?
Next 2 seasons.
I said, help me.
See, as much as I agree with you that it is mentality, but you have to...
Analysis there.
Analysis.
And the ball finished 2 hours. Watch out.
But you have to understand that ability is also being able to do what you can do under that much pressure.
Yeah.
That's what ability also means. And so...
Wait, that's what you make a confirm. Don't rush
get-
a person like that.
Was it not Dortmund that bottled it?
What did you talk? What did you not say talk?
His ability is the ability. His ability is the ability to do something on that ability.
I don't think
I don't say your ability. So senior man always say, this ability too much. Same thing.
What I said is simple. Ability is also being able. I know that. So that to make it clear. Let not miss words. Ability is also being able to do what you do under that level of pressure.
So, but yet to ability that time.
You get that your mischievous
He not come on, why not come on?
Cut that ear, come on.
He not come on, why not come on?
See, was it not Dortmund that bought you the last day of the season, last season?
Bro.
And these are the same players. And you're playing Madrid.
They are the reason Thomas Tuchel has a trophy in his stint at
It
Man
is
City.
easy. So
That's a very prayerful mother.
now you're
Telling you.
Now you're playing against Madrid in the final.
I hear he's got the Man United job.
That's why they're linking with Man U now.
So
that's why
I hear he has the job.
Oh, okay. I've not heard that. I've not heard that. But what I've heard is that Ten Hag is gone. That's what I've heard.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. This.
Now I don't want
the top man
leave
guy.
socials.
So I think. I mean, anything can happen in the final. Dortmund could go in there, maybe get an early goal, and then anything can happen. Ancelotti have got a big decision to. Is anything wrong with Lunin?
No.
So he's got a big decision on his hands.
And I think they said it. I think they
no,
said it
no,
already
no.
that he's going to start.
No, he didn't say he's going to start Courtois.
He
didn't say it.
Like they not
where did they get
necessarily
this
say,
from?
but there is this camp stories
I mean,
that
is
he's
it
the one that's going
still
to
is it still a
start.
big
The last
decision?
game
Dropped-
they played.
Courtois has been dropped by Belgium.
Yes.
So that
That's the
could have
way this guy did.
that could have
Tedesco.
that could have
Tedesco
given-
said Courtois was very honest and said he wasn't ready for the national team.
Of course he's not. That guy just came back. You know.
yeah.
So if you are not ready for the national team, are you ready for the Champions League final?
That's what I was about to say, because I feel like if you're a top manager like Carlo, and you have a top player like Courtois, and there's the Euros in front, and there's a pressure for the player to be fit to play for his country, then you might feel a bit of pressure to want to play him. But now that they've dropped him, I don't think Carlo feels any pressure, because you cannot play him.
I'll make a big prediction now. If
You cannot play him.
If Courtois starts, Real Madrid are losing.
It's not a.
I don't think so.
I don't
it's
think
not
so.
a
Let's
position.
try and
As a
lay
goalkeeper-
out.
That thing way Pochettino do.
For that final.
For that
Honestly,
Let's try and lay out the decision.
because a
Sorry,
goalkeeping
bros.
position. Okay.
Let's try and lay out.
Carlo
Let's try
Lunin
and
is
let's try and
excited.
lay out. Let's try and lay out the
And Lunin has
the
been
thought
good.
process of making a decision of making that decision.
Yeah.
So obviously, medical team will certify this guy is 100% physically. He's good. Now you got to talk about, okay, is there an added, because you can play that, he's ready for that kind of game, or he can play that kind of game, but he's just coming back from a very long time injury. Mental space, is he ready for it? But then you look at Lunin as well. Look, he's had a very good season, but it's the Champions League final. Mentally, is he ready for it? Because I think that these are the things that you have to go and look.
I think
mentally, Lunin is ready for Champions League.
I think
final.
it's quite
So
unfair.
there's
It's quite
there
unfair
was
when
this same
when-
case,
okay.
this same situation in the CAF Champions League. Myself and Yubi were talking about it on radio. This same situation where the Al Ahly goalkeeper El Shenawi, the Egyptian number one,
Yeah.
has been injured for a long time. So they brought in this young player, Schubert, the son of the legend of the club, Hamed Hassan. The boy has been doing incredibly well. So they got to the final, and people started questioning, is he going to bring El Shenawi back? El Shenawi has been back for a little while. He's been training.
Yeah.
What is the Champions League final? You've got a young goalkeeper who's been playing for a very long time and has done well. He's kept 9 clean sheets. 10 now. In the history of the Champions League, no one has kept 10 straight clean sheets.
Yeah.
And the manager has gone with the young goalkeeper over the 2 legs.
And they've won.
Because the goalkeeping position, I think it was Yubi who said it some weeks ago.
Had to be me. I claim it.
Make it talk with you.
No worry, Wally go bring the
But
video
the
out.
goalkeeper, make I know.
The goalkeeping position is a position where you cannot make mistakes. Every time goalkeeper makes a mistake, it's a goal.
Baba, that one a normal thing.
No.
Baba, waiting you
I
talk
just want to
now.
talk am. Now me talk am now.
Baba, waiting you talk now.
Now me talk am now.
Which one be a goalkeeper cannot make mistake? Waiting you dey there for.
because
Do they make mistake?
because defenders make mistakes.
I remember when I said it, it was when we were talking about Ramsey, Ramsdale,
And Raya.
and Raya
I said it.
on Zoom.
Okay, don't
let me
worry.
talk am.
Don't worry.
But-
So,
Zoom, you don't remember him now. Yeah, you remember what happened for Zoom. You get it.
so I will not reach Courtois. He's a top
Okay.
class goalkeeper.
But he played last weekend though.
He's been
That is
playing
a
actually.
game of no
He's been
consequence.
playing like 3
So
games. He's
for
played
me-
like 3
for
league
me-
He
games.
played like 3 games.
For
Yeah.
me, that was the indicator that Lunin is playing
might
the final.
come in.
No, Lunin is playing the final actually. On the contrary,
Yeah.
because if you see the
You
players
don't
that
give him
played-
compensation.
Yeah,
that
you don't
game-
give
Yeah.
him
Just come
time.
from
You see the
injury.
players that played that
Play.
game,
Yeah,
if you watch the
don't give him
lineup,
time.
you will see that
Players
started
they
resting a
say
couple
they
of
enjoy their
players,
last game.
season, that kind of thing.
I won't make that mistake.
So you find
that kid, Lunin, has been unbelievable.
Yeah.
I beg. I have one question. What Kepa go do for Madrid? I beg.
Jesus. Kepa is still at Madrid.
No, you don't go back now.
Of course, the season don't end now.
No,
so-
Kepa was
Oh,
at
season-
Madrid.
season- yeah,
He was still at Madrid.
What did he go do there?
The amount of players that return to Chelsea, a lot.
He's plenty.
A lot of players have been through a lot.
I think Lunin did well against City.
Romelu Lukaku.
And
He's
against
still a
Bayern.
Chelsea
No,
player.
he's off to Napoli.
Who be that?
But he's still a Chelsea player.
Of course,
yeah,
now.
he's coming back. That's what I'm saying. Now. A lot of players are returning to a lot.
But he's off to Napoli.
Okay.
Is it Lukaku?
Conte is going to
Conte
Napoli.
wants him to help him win the league.
Yeah.
Again.
let me
Because
put a stopwatch
Well,
on
okay,
that marriage.
that means Osimhen they go Chelsea.
Osimhen, they go somewhere.
Osimhen is going to
But he's almost-
either
he's almost-
PSG.
Paris Saint-Germain.
He's not.
Very likely PSG.
Take it from me. He's not going to PSG.
Think
But-
of you
but-
as-
but here-
what do you-
Take your be agents.
But I hear he favors.
That's-
One
that's
bet,
the expertise.
He favors the move to the.
You know where they go.
They say Arteta.
Where they go?
They say Arteta
I know where
likes-
they go,
They say
actually.
Arteta likes him, but the money Napoli are asking for is too much. Arsenal can't pay
That's
that
the
fee.
difference.
How is it
Take
too
that
much?
money, go and pay.
As in, you say it's
That's
too
what
much.
you
that
do,
much.
though. Can you not see who you are competing
Una
against?
don't
You won't get
million.
something for free. You say it's too much.
How much? Okay, wait, senior man. You as an Arsenal fan, how much do you think is a fair price for Victor Osimhen?
90, 100.
So how much are they quoting you guys?
I think they are asking for 120, 130, 150.
No,
Yeah,
there's a. Have you guys forgotten? Have you guys forgotten that there's a release clause? There's a clause.
They are criminal.
Senior man, no, they talk like
No,
this.
there's a clause signed.
You won't buy G-Wagon, we know the chop fuel. Which kind this is that one? Which kind talk be that one?
You understand? Some things are some things like...
You go market. You say that G-Wagon, it is chop fuel.
Now when you go kill you, now you won't buy so.
You know,
Or they don't come on the catalyst.
you know.
Say you won't buy G-Wagon.
I mean, give me like don't come your catalyst recently.
You won't buy G-Wagon, but they put 4 plug inside.
Well, get me Osimhen, I win the league.
They knock table.
Baba, you don't
Get me Osimhen, I win
you
the
don't
league.
win the league for the past 2 seasons.
I kid you not. Get me
When
Osimhen, I win
last
the
season,
league.
what said Declan Rice comes in, we win the league.
I didn't say that. Why would I say that?
It is.
Get me Osimhen, I win the league. I kid you not.
And now you know one pay
Get
this
me-
clause.
Banga.
Get me
And you don't want pay.
Osimhen.
And you don't want pay
Get me
150.
Osimhen. Haaland doesn't see the golden boot again. If he plays 38, Osimhen plays 38. Osimhen will score more goals than him.
My problem with Osimhen is,
I get it.
Osimhen
I get
gets
what you're
it done.
saying.
If he plays 38 matches, Osimhen plays 38 matches in Arsenal. He plays for. Osimhen will win the highest goal scorer. Are you joking? All those crosses where Saka they cross.
So I don't want to buy Tony again.
I think Tony is too old. I think that
At 28,
I think that he's looking for a younger player.
I say that, you know what?
No, I think that he's looking for a younger player. He's looking,
Personally,
he's looking for a younger player.
no, I don't think Tony is on front row.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I don't think
easy.
Tony is on
And
front row.
Tony came back. Tony came back. You know, he's not behaved well.
When
He has not behaved well. You know, he has-
Actually, in Buemo,
he
now
has
he spoiled their
talked too
season.
much.
You get all those
Now,
talks.
Buemo
All those
now-
talks, you don't make sense.
He has talked too much.
I think
not
not
put away, you know, just to show the haters. I said, bros,
No.
not a lot,
What
but I
he
think he
does-
has
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
disrespected Brentford a little bit.
That's what I'm saying.
A
He has
little
not
bit.
behaved. He has not behaved well.
There's no point. Everybody knows you're going to leave.
ability wise, come on.
But Mbappe, they are available. Mbappe, they are available.
Yeah, you know he can bounce. He will give you good stuff on social media.
Don't be only more pay.
He will give you good stuff on social media.
Don't be only more pay.
You sell shirts.
Brentford say, we love you, but we know this side.
But
So-
if Madrid wins this final,
Right.
if Madrid wins this final, that's 15, right?
Yeah.
Change the Champions League name to
16?
Farmers League.
That's 16.
16. Oh,
No, 15.
no, 16. They won the 15th in 2021.
No.
Like they won the 2015.
Abike,
Are you joking? It's 15.
Senior man, 15 or 16?
It doesn't matter. See,
Now 15 now, they won. You know,
won
see,
15 Champions League title.
It's 14
Do you
now.
know Madrid? Do you know Madrid have won at least 4 Champions League in the last 10 years?
I just want to know this argument.
Senior man is 14.
Nah,
It's 14
like
they've
say
won.
person
Madrid have won
one behind them and
10
they unfair.
at least
Like,
4
I want to know what's the aim of the argument because
It's 14.
they
they've
use
won.
at least 5 gap everybody. So what's the point of the argument?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, you know,
Like,
What's the point?
like what's the point of it?
if it goes out, if they win it, where do we put Toni Kroos?
Apoka, something like that.
14.
That is 15. No, like
Where does Toni Kroos now rank in, you know, that list of, because I think we've had that conversation here. We're
Yeah.
talking
I
about
shall know
midfielders and we're trying to rank
Iniesta and
them.
Xavi, they are ahead of him.
We're trying to rank them.
No, stop
because
it,
if they
please.
win this one now, it
Stop
would be
Stop
5
it.
for
Why?
Toni Kroos, right?
If I don't delay this work because that
Stop.
was my next.
Stop that thing.
Even if it wasn't.
that was my next line of
He goes
conversation.
still out.
See this one.
That was my
He's
next
an
one.
He's an idiot now.
Sure.
He's an
How
idiot.
many Champions League Xavi win?
No,
How
but-
many?
How many Champions League Xavi win? How many Iniesta win? Stop
That Iniesta where they go
Want
play
to-
ball like say they owe cartel
I mean,
money.
what's it? Who
Who in the owe money? Because you know stuff about
He's still
this-
playing.
My brother, he's playing.
I think there's a problem.
He looks like a great grandfather, but he's still playing.
He's still playing Japan.
And it's just 40, funny enough. I think
Iniesta is still playing football.
Yeah.
Kante will retire after this.
He
Euro,
can't
and
post
Iniesta
one
still
picture, can't put caption. I think he say, "Oh, go, let's go." Put
play.
one caption. Where are you going? See all your white baby. Where are you
You don't pay am
going?
well.
Yeah, be like they don't pay am well.
collect his salary finish.
All those boys, they don't collect money.
Because I don't understand.
You're doing passionate.
Why you? What are you doing?
Collect your money while you are still.
So I think you are capping anyways.
Well,
Xavi
yeah.
and Nesta ahead of you. You are talking
Well,
nonsense.
just Toni Kroos.
It will be fifth or
I think
sixth.
Toni Kroos is up there with the very best.
So
Mention them.
I'll paint a scenario, right? there's a table. You know, Paul Scholes is on the table, right? Pele
Exactly.
on the table, right?
Gerrard.
Xavi's on the table.
Xavi's on the table, right?
Is Iniesta on the table?
Yeah,
Yes,
yes, of
yes.
course.
Not.
Okay, in
not-
central
not-
midfield.
Central midfield.
Central
not-
midfield.
Central
not-
midfield.
Central midfield.
Modric
Okay.
is on the table.
Pelo.
Modric is on the table.
You don't call Pelo.
Yeah.
Pele was on the table. Baba, you
But I don't go call Clarence Seedorf.
Yeah, Seedorf.
Seedorf is not in that position.
No, Seedorf is not in that
Seedorf did,
position.
yeah.
Seedorf was
No,
an
Seedorf played
attacking
as a number
midfielder.
10
He
now.
was an
I say win
attacking
5
midfielder.
Champions League.
No,
You say
Seedorf
no
played
dey
in
there.
multiple positions.
No, we're
He
talking
played as
about
a number
players
10.
who played deep line.
Say
We're
what
talking
it-
about deep line midfield.
Yes,
Deep-
now we're not
deep
talking.
line.
We're talking deep line alone.
Deep
Was-
line midfielders.
Xavi played in a 4-3-3, my
Yeah,
guy.
but
Xavi
Xavi
was
was-
like a CM, not a deep line.
so
He
the
played in
table
a
is-
3
so-
in a
Xavi na
3.
CM.
The table is.
He was a
this,
CM.
This to prove that Rufai was going the same direction I was going because I get this thing. So that table is Modric did the table. You get. I think Kante is on that table as well.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Who disagrees?
But
Why would you
Modric too
decide
played
that?
as a number 10.
Make I send you away.
Is it number 10? Is it number 10?
Modric
or-
too
So-
played as a number 10
Xavi is on
early.
the table.
Xavi.
Cruz is on the table. Busquets is on the table.
Yeah,
I
Busquets.
knew we were missing somebody very
Busquets,
critical.
yeah.
Understand? Pelo, Scholes on the table.
Rodri.
Rodri too early. Casemiro is on that table.
Yeah, Casemiro is there.
So Rodri, if you win another Champions League, you can.
Yeah, because you don't win one Champions League, bros.
put him in there.
These people,
You get.
don't.
Now I know put.
Say you go put Fletcher for there.
So
God of mercy.
if you were to pick a team, right? I'll pick. There's no way Paul Scholes doesn't make that team.
Of course.
There's nothing anybody will do
Of
about
course.
it.
There's nothing.
I was wondering that
No,
see,
you put Vieira there, of course.
How many Champions League Vieira win? I
I
bet.
mean, Champions League, Vieira didn't win.
But I mean, it's not.
What about this your legend? What's his name again? Where they talk anyhow. Say Haaland na League 2.
Roy Keane.
That guy.
Roy Keane is not there.
why?
No, Rocky
Roy Keane.
is not there.
Roy Keane is
Why? Are we talking European
Something
success?
about that. Let's bring it back. Xavi, Busquets,
Yes, sir.
Kante, Cruz.
You
You
put
know-
Kante there now.
Who Kante?
See-
Casemiro.
You see, all
You
these
now
people.
say
See all
Roy
this-
Keane is not there.
You see all these people he mentioned. They had one thing in common. They could control games.
So
Those guys, they control. They dictate the pace of a football match. I don't think Roy Keane used to do that much.
No.
Because
He's
when
known for
when
this.
you look at
I'm-
Xavi, when you look at Xavi, you look at Scholes, and I still remember one legendary commentary I will never forget. Paul Scholes just gave a 60-yard pass, and the commentators say always thoughtful with his distribution. I will never forget it. Paul Scholes would control games with his passing.
that cannabis in his head. He's always thoughtful with his distribution.
Because you go think him now.
He said cannabis.
I mean, you don't go think him.
You see how Paul Scholes used to control games. Xavi, Rodri tries. But
Rodri controls games.
He controls games. You see Fabregas. They
Do you understand?
control
Fabregas-
games.
Did you? So you see, you're excited about putting
Fabregas.
Fabregas. These are
Fabregas.
the issues. Fabregas played majority of this thing as a number 10.
Control
Ozil.
games.
Fabregas only played maybe
Ozil.
3 seasons in that position.
Like
Your guy
that's
Ozil.
exactly what I'm
Ozil
saying.
is not there now. How can you put Ozil there now?
Ozil is not. I'm not gonna stop
I mean,
this.
Ozil is not what?
Ozil is not a
It's
cent.
not a central.
That's
midfielder.
exactly what I'm saying. We're saying CMs, right?
is
But you
six?
just mentioned, it was a 6, right? You just
Six.
mentioned Fabregas.
Which is why the most impressive player on that table is Kante, because to be able to, you speak about controlling games, and Kante is the only player in that position that didn't control games with his range of passing.
Yeah.
But still control games with his energy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just like sheer bossing, just
Tempo.
dominating people, like just literally dominating midfields, like only him.
I will never forget that Champions League final against City. I mean, I watched that game again. I'm like, why will a human being play like this?
Yeah, that's City tweet.
Well, even
Now
City-
real
yeah,
iconic
yeah.
tweet.
They had to
Why
tweet
will a
it.
He
human
said no
being?
no changes at the break. Kante say if
God.
hopefully Kante has covered every blade of grass.
But
Hopefully if it's something
I will never-
then we can be.
The guy was running. You could feel like he was an animal running inside of him. He would run. He was here.
The only midfield player that you can have Paul Scholes, Toni Kroos, and Modric in the same midfield, he will shut it down. I don't care I don't care how many passes you have in that game.
So for me, anyways, I think Toni Kroos should be having the conversation of Toni Kroos being the greatest midfielder of his. And the reason I say this,
of his generation, right?
Is Toni Kroos and Busquets, who's better?
No, I'm not talking better. I think Toni Kroos is greater than all of them now. If he wins this Champions League,
yeah, I think he's greater than everybody.
I think he's greater than everybody.
Than everybody, yeah.
I remember we had that conversation on this table.
Is he the most talented? No.
No,
He's not the most talented.
not.
He's probably not. You get. I remember we had that conversation on this table. We were talking about defenders,
Greatness. Yeah.
and it was a consensus. If I'm going to pick based on talent, Sergio Ramos probably is not the first name I mentioned.
Yeah, of
But
course.
we're talking the greatest. You know, their influence in the team, what they won with the team, and what they did in the process of winning those things. Nobody comes close to him. Maybe some people do, but he's ahead of everybody, right? And I think if Toni Kroos wins this Champions League, we can't put Champions League on the level we put Champions League on, and somebody wins this 5-6 times,
Yeah.
and then we still try and say he's not the greatest
Yeah.
of, you know.
I agree.
If I think the
And
closest
he won the World Cup.
You know, football literally thrives off comparisons, and we speak
Yeah.
about comparing players. I think the closest person you can compare him to is in that team is Modric. In that era, in that team is Modric,
yeah.
right? If you were to pick Modric or Kroos for your team, who would you pick?
Depends on what I need.
No, I think
no,
Modric is obviously has more range, more variety to his game.
I'll
Yeah.
pick Kroos. I'll pick Kroos now. Yes,
I'll pick
because
Modric.
I remember when
If I'm gonna pick a CM,
Modric.
if I'm gonna pick a CM, I pick Toni Kroos.
this
Modric can do the he can play as a number 10, he can play as a CM, but if I need a CM, I pick Toni Kroos. I pick Toni Kroos because it's not as if Modric can't do the job, but Toni Kroos does that job of stringing up play from deep on a. It makes it so effortless.
You know the same thing. Modric does that role for Croatia.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any midfield player I have seen that does that role so well. Maybe since Marcos Senna.
Hi!
You know,
Michael Senna and senior man. Busquets
Marcos Senna.
for Spain
Busquets
now.
as well.
You know.
Busquets as well.
I don't
only black players
remember a
play
player
for
playing
Spain
that
then.
role
What a
that
player.
excellently.
Yeah.
You know, since Xavi Alonso was
So-
very good for Spain as well.
Yeah.
I think it was in Spain that Xavi Alonso really showed that
Where does this?
I'd be world class player. Because I think he was playing in the team that had Busquets. I
Alonso
think
said
was he
video.
playing ahead of
Yes.
Busquets?
Xavi. Yeah.
Alonso was playing ahead of Busquets, no?
No. I think they
Xavi.
were playing. They
I
had
don't
to
think
force
so.
them
They
together.
played both of them.
Yeah, they had to force them together. They
After
changed.
he
Yeah,
joined
they
Madrid,
changed.
yeah.
They changed the setup.
And
They
had
changed the
Liverpool-
setup.
They don't rate
Yeah.
Liverpool
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So
was the Spanish-
So
let's
you be
progress it,
yeah.
Those people
I'll
are
pick
politics.
Kroos because I think it's good to hear from players who are on the field with him because we only watch it. We can only say what we see.
What do you think? Okay.
You know, for players, his fellow players come out and say that the truth is that a lot of people don't know this, but whatever they want to play, whatever tempo they want to play, it is down to Toni Kroos.
Yeah, of course.
You know, that's show
He
you
controls
his
it.
importance
Thank God.
compared.
How
You
he's
know,
smooth.
Modric is also very influential in the team, but I think when they tell you that a player controls the tempo of how the team should play, that
true.
shows you how important he is. So
Yeah.
I think Kroos ahead of Modric.
You know, when I made the analysis on Kroos, and a lot of people in the comments were like, people that just watch Champions League, once. I said, look, there is nobody. When the players want to start attacking, they look at Kroos. Are we can we raise the line a little bit?
Remember this guy, Sebastian Schweinsteiger.
Yeah.
You never
Right.
would now.
You say remember this guy. Are you joking?
Like in
You know
1992.
when Schweinsteiger was in midfield, I remember Harry Redknapp saying, you can't win. That England need to start modeling their players differently. He said you can't win trophies without players like this. They control games. That when you go into tournaments, you see England playing, exciting players, energy, running around. But the countries who win tournaments have players in midfield who decide the game with how they control it.
That's where Kobe Maino's mother should start playing.
I don't think no. I don't think England didn't have
No, they
players
didn't have.
who could do
You know,
it. No,
they didn't.
no, bros.
They
wait.
had Lampard
Bros, wait,
energy running up and down, Gerrard energy.
No, bros, wait.
Paul
Bros, wait.
Scholes, they had Paul Scholes at
The
the
problem was not that England did not have the players who could do it. I think that the problem was that they go. Is the same thing that they've talked about? They go into the national team. Everybody wants to make things happen. When you look at those German sides, right?
But you look
When
at the England team in the last 5-10 years.
Yeah.
Could could do what Rodri does.
No, I mean you were mentioning
They had-
mentioning the
They
generation
had
of
Carrick,
Lampard
they
and
didn't used to
Gerrard.
play him.
They need to play. I think it was a cultural problem.
They had
There was
Carrick.
a so they
Carrick-
were-
It was a cultural problem.
So
Carrick was the
so they
closest.
Carrick
will
should be
cramp
starting the team.
they will cramp the
Carrick
team
was the
with the most
closest to
superstars that
what
they
you
could.
should call a Rodri now.
yeah.
But
So-
guess what? They never used to play him.
That's the same thing I'm telling you. They will cramp the team with the most superstars that they could. Oh, this one plays for United. This one plays for this. They start for this. They
No,
start for that.
that was not a Carrick problem. The Carrick problem was PR problem.
I think
No,
you know they get me.
I don't think it was a PR problem.
can't be playing for Man U and saying it's PR problem. I don't think
I
it's
hear both
PR.
of you, right? I think that there
Carrick
is.
can't play ahead
Can I-
of
the problem with
Gerrard
England-
and Lampard
Lampard.
now.
So-
Because Gerrard and Lampard have got they've
so-
scored
And
more
like
goals.
say
They
Rooney,
create
they bring
more
Rooney self
chances.
come midfield.
So this is the problem. The evolution of the game has seen the need for as England are very, very obsessed with athleticism, right?
Yeah, of course.
and
It's a culture there.
overall output. But the evolution of the game and Spain led with that has made people appreciate what happens here, as opposed to, what happens, people are running around. And that's why players like Carrick, and that's why you see people like Kobe, Carrick had to suffer for players like Kobe Mainoo to be able to get a chance at 18.
So he paved the way.
Yeah, paved the way, sort of. Do you understand? Because that's why you pick Calvin
I
Phillips.
know where you are going.
That's why you pick Calvin Phillips in midfield to play beside Declan Rice over players like maybe your Ward-Prowse, who have the ability to just be a bit more distributive.
I think
that's
I think you make a good point.
That's what
but
I
I feel like one of the reasons why Carrick was not playing regularly, like I was saying. So Carrick was back in the day they would say, oh, that guy, he's the engine of the team, but he doesn't do it in a loud form. He's not scoring 20. He's not making that Hollywood assist. He's not doing all that, but he makes everything happen for the team. So the national team will go in there and say, look, Lampard has 20 goals in a season. Oh, he must play. Oh, Steven Gerrard and Torres at Liverpool, they're incredible, so he must play.
Yeah.
So those are the metrics when they were supposed to look and set a team that was effective. That's what I'm saying. Like, they would go and pick the superstar names, the big names, the ones that do the flashy things in their clubs. So this one scored 20 goals, this one scored 10 goals, this one do this assist. And if we bring all of them together, but when you bring those people together, they all want to make things happen. Yeah. Gerrard is looking for the kind of pass he will give to Torres. Lampard is looking to score how many goals, like the same way he did at Chelsea. When they were supposed to be the team, that's what the people like Germany, what they did very well. Even though you'd be in a team with Ballack, with Schweinsteiger, with Frings. Was it Frings?
Yeah,
the guy that had
Frings,
it.
yeah.
So even though you would be in a team with those people, it was a team that was very that was very complementary, that made things happen. Right? Everybody had their roles and everybody did their roles. So
Yeah.
I think like
I think
that's
a difference.
Let's take it back to Champions League final. Let's just make the predictions and leave it there. You think about the game. Obviously, you talked about mentality. That's what wins the games. I personally believe that the underlying theme of European football this season, especially in finals, is that underdog mentality. I think that Dortmund would genuinely believe
Of
that
course.
Well, they
we
did
come
final
back
now.
we come back home with that cup. And we've spoken about Kroos' last game, and we just sat with Trust, and you think about Sebastian Haller and the story. I think that there's potential for another story like that in Marco Reus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've been as sad as for a player as I've been sad at the eve of international tournaments. He's always the name I'm looking forward to, and I see he just picks up an injury for international tournaments. And I feel like that providence might just play a little bit into the occasion to hand him that final, you deserve this for having the kind of career you've had.
I mean,
You
when
know.
you put it like that, yeah, I mean,
I just see it
possible.
playing out. Yeah.
It's possible, but
You've given me a reason to support Dortmund on
it's
Saturday.
it's possible. But I mean, you can believe.
But I personally want Real Madrid to win it.
But when
I don't,
the Champions
actually.
League tune, when the
I
Champions League
think
tune
that
starts
we win.
playing,
I don't want them to win. I don't. I mean, the Champions League, when we grew up watching the Champions League on ESPN,
you don't want them to win because they are
when
playing.
we used to watch Champions, there was a time ESPN only showed Champions League. Champions League was not on the other satellite station, and they used to show one match, and on one match they will show one game live, and then give goals highlights from like as the goals come in, they will.
That's actually very true.
It used to be so nice, We used to squeeze out time to go and watch Champions League. So we know how much we revere the Champions League. We remember when we used to say, no matter how good you are, you cannot defend the Champions League. Madrid just came and said, you know what, get this thing out of the way. I feel like they've dominated the Champions League too much and it's becoming annoying.
So it's not that you don't want them to win because they are playing a supposed underdog.
but
It's just because they should not win more.
If you really want to feel the fever, when Lagos there were just talking about Champions League, it's not happening. If you really want to feel Champions League is happening on Saturday, just travel outside Lagos, right? I can promise you, if you go to my hometown, right now, you will see the design they used to write the chalk. They used to write the Champions League, fixture. They'll use pink chalk. They'll use blue.
Carnival atmosphere, bro.
You see the time. You see the calligraphy.
You would think you're at Wembley.
The calligraphy they used to write that fixture.
Game will be like 7:45, 8 o'clock like this.
If you don't get there by 6,
by 6 something,
you don't have
7 o'clock, crowd. Lovely. People are talking. Hey!
Over bottles of
Hey,
understanding.
bottles. Hey, bro.
Drink bottles.
Those are brothers.
You go there, go watch them.
But that's actually special. Rufai, what do you think happens? Give us a prediction on who wins.
Madrid 3-1.
Madrid win 3-1.
Yeah.
It's not a scoreline I do not see happening.
My prediction: Dortmund win on penalties.
Dortmund win on penalties.
Dortmund win on penalties.
I see it happening as well. I have to agree.
Why is this one laughing?
IBK, what happens?
He don't smoke. You're consulting with the oracle.
This way they blow the hose.
The blue air, Oga talk prediction.
This is the way they do the hose.
Full time 2-2. Dortmund wins extra time 3-2.
Wow.
Dortmund wins extra time 3-2.
You see,
So
all
3-2
Telegram channel loading.
penalties. Dortmund wins. Madrid 3-1. Well, that's the privilege of having Mike 1. You can always play around.
You're hiding.
Can always dance around these things. But if I go with the theme of European football this season, there's an underdog story, right? And it's just really powerful.
You see the thing hard.
He actually had.
Yeah, it is. I
Obviously,
mean, it's Real Madrid we're talking about. We're not talking about Liverpool.
Vinicius Junior, Bellingham.
You find even waste time.
Honestly, I think.
I don't know this one.
I think Madrid are gonna have too much.
Fulham nil, Man City.
I don't know what
I
you
think
think.
Madrid are gonna have too much. I think put Modric there, put Kroos.
Modric if you know even start.
You know they even start.
The influence,
Toni Kroos
the
go start.
influence, the know-how. It'll just be overwhelming. I don't remember a team that have stockpiled the amount of influence in European football history at any point in their careers in the history of European football. I don't remember a team that have stockpiled that much amount. Not many teams. I think since
Marcel Sabitzer,
since
anytime goal scorer. That just came to me now.
Right? Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
start.
I think Madrid win. I don't know the
Marcel
scoreline, but I think
Sabitzer,
Madrid
anytime
wins.
goal scorer.
You know?
Okay, Madrid.
That just came to me.
I think
now.
Madrid wins.
I celebrate you,
Let
sir.
us know your predictions as well. Hit us up. Leave it in the comments. And it's always important to do it before the game starts. Don't go and do it before 10 minutes into the game. Say this
If
is
the
my
person don't score.
This is my prediction. Anyway, that's how we call the curtains on what has been a great season, and we have totally enjoyed it. Totally loved it. We came back for the blitz of the final season, the remaining couple of weeks, and we've loved every single moment of doing it. And the most important thing for us is that you, the community, which we record this podcast, we love it, but we love the fact that you make us feel incredibly appreciated. And through all the incredible crazy comments, we feel that really. And all we can ask is that you continue to share the podcast, right? what I found in this last couple of weeks is that I think people just enjoy watching it so much that you guys don't like the videos. You know, you forget to leave a like on the video. But I think the first thing you should do is when you see a video drop, just like it first, right? On YouTube. That way, you know, it's being pushed out for more people to see it, and leave a comment as well. It is important that we have those engagements so that our sponsors can believe that we have, you know, more than 20,000 people watching us, because I actually believe that we do have that amount of people watching the pod. Inyobong, I want to thank you very much indeed, especially
Pleasure.
for all your insights. Always a pleasure. You have some of the brightest insights as far as football goes, and I've spoken to a lot of football people, and I think that our fans, people who watch you, believe that. You know, not just because I say that, but they believe that because you know, you are one of the best players in the
What are you laughing?
Luckily,
You don't
there is an important. You know, someone asked me the question. He said, you know, and it brings the most incredible, you know, piece of storytelling.
Bangers.
You know,
sorry, guys. Sorry, no thanks.
IBK is the class clown, right? IBK does what he does, and it's incredible, right? You know, he asked me. He said, but I can't quite figure Rufai out, right?
You can't
quite
figure me out,
right?
my guy. You can't figure me out.
Why they do everything?
So I left it to IBK to answer, right?
Why they do everything?
IBK, what makes Rufai, you know,
You can't figure
unfigurable
me
out,
out, my
if
brother.
that's the right word.
I think you cannot predict him. So I think that's enough.
Yeah.
You are coming to a show, you don't know what to expect from Rufai.
I celebrate you, my brother.
There's a word that just got into my head.
I celebrate grace.
Right.
I celebrate you, my brother.
Before that, send me your
Okay.
Hey!
That's the word.
Nah, play,
Inscrutable.
no send that any
That's the
answer.
word.
Please, what does that mean?
Inscrutable.
He said na play.
Difficult or impossible to comprehend, fathom, or interpret.
Yeah.
Inscrutable. I
Inscrutable.
first heard the word used about Arsene Wenger many years
He
ago.
speak English.
Yeah.
The inscrutable.
Yeah. That's a nice one. Does that sit well with you?
I mean,
You mean what?
You mean what do you mean? This small send
Shadow
of
be do IBK. Make I do like IBK now. No, I think it does. If I can say anything about myself, I think I'm never always on one side consistently. I think my thing is to like see the situation on the merit of what has happened around that
when
one.
it comes to Chelsea,
They on one side.
No, I'm not on one side. Even
Don't
with
mind,
Chelsea,
I'm joking.
you
Don't
know.
mind.
So even with Chelsea, I'm not.
you know.
But why did Chelsea fire Pochettino?
This question where you ask me, go and go ask.
But it's a nice
Marina
way
Granovsky.
honestly, it's a nice way to let the guys know what you feel about, you know, each and every one of the guys there, and that'll be really nice. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you next season. Bye.
All right, guys. I'm a man that needs no introduction on this show. It remains the Hindsight podcast. You know, when it comes to talking sport, when it comes to talking football all around the world, you get the best information from this particular podcast. You can always join us online